Hello guys, welcome to the May vlog of 2023, and we start this vlog off a little bit more interesting than usual because I got the car I was talking about. Well, I didn't talk about that car in particular, but I have a car like 9 weeks early because my mother decided she'd be so graceful to lend me the money to buy it. And it is a Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. It is a 2011 version, so it is about 12 years old. Well, 11 years old, I think, actually. Do the math. And it is in perfect condition, apart from the bumper here. It needs a new... what do you call it in the US? A boot, a trunk, kind of little grip thing at the back. That's all it needs because it fell off. Not with me though, with the previous owner. And it's only had one owner, and now two owners, me. And it drives like a dream. It's so well made, and it's like a tank. It's one of the biggest cars I've ever driven. Well, I've only driven one car, but it's one of the biggest cars you can possibly drive, to be fair. It's amazing. And more on it later in the vlog, and I'll show you the inside and things. So yeah, and obviously the reg is probably, or the license plate has probably been blurred out, because it has to be. My thumb just clicked. Ow. But anyway, moving on. So, it's been a few days since I recorded that last segment before this, so I'm a little kerfuffled about what I said, because I haven't really watched it back. And I am back in my simulator at the moment, if you can call it a simulator. Just kind of practicing a little bit of the sort of positioning and things like that still. Even though I am driving that real car that I have parked outside, that I own, and I have insured and taxed, you know, everything. I am the keeper, all in my name, so that's good. And it's a pretty good car. I have driven it a few times. We've been shopping in it. I've been to just kind of around the block and things like that. Practiced a bit of parking because I haven't actually done that with my instructor, and I'm fairly good with it, I guess. Haven't reverse bay parked yet, which is something I'm dreading, but not really. I want to learn everything. And yeah, it's a pretty good car to drive. It accelerates at a pace that I can keep up with because my instructor's car just goes really quickly. My car is an automatic, of course. It's a semi-automatic, actually. If I've not mentioned that, I don't know what I mentioned in the previous video. So, so basically, I can accelerate, sort of get up to speed, not too quickly, because you know I don't want to drive into a wall or something. But I can sort of ease into the movement of the car. If I want to, I can do manual selection with like panels like these in the back of the wheel, which enable me to drive it in manual without a clutch. So you can still, that's why it's a semi-automatic, because it can be driven manually and automatic at the same time. So anyone who's got a car that's actually got that car will know that. So if you're driving an automatic and you're going down a hill or going up a hill or something like that, you can switch the gears manually, or if you just like to drive manually, you can do that. So you can do that in this simulation. They are my indicators, so or blinkers if you like. So I won't actually play around with those at the moment. So yeah, it's a pretty good car. Well, one of the many drives we're on. Could have gone better. I am so tired, and someone almost hit me going around a roundabout, but you know, I'm still kind of trying to master the roundabouts. It wasn't anything too serious, but it could have been serious if I was any slower. But luckily I was quite fast around it, which is good. But I'm not going to do that again. Live and learn. But yeah, gear selector is so strange in this car. But it's good. I like it. Been a couple days since my last entry, and I've done a few more drives in the car. And I'm getting better and better and more confident as time goes on. I even reverse bay parked it into my drive out there. Yes, I know. More on this in a second. But as I do things like that, the reverse bay park and
whatnot, the more confident I am at driving such a great big car, you know? There's more to park, and there's more car to maneuver, if you will. So yeah, as far as my my situation about moving, it's pretty much at a standstill. I keep saying that it's getting, closer and closer, but it's at a standstill. There is hope, though. We are still looking, and there's other houses there we're looking at, but other people keep taking them. So, yeah, we're getting closer and closer to getting a house, and hopefully this time, the one we're looking at right now, will be pretty handy because it has a huge garden with a great big gated driveway, which would be nice for our, family car and things. And of course, all of our stuff. So yeah, things are moving. Slowly. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at a new house. Only the outside of the house, but we are going to be looking at one, which should be really interesting. Apparently it's bigger and wider? No? It has a huge garden anyway. But we're about to see. I'm going to drive there now and have a look. So let's go. So I am back from the drive. And it went particularly well going over to the new house. If it even is a new house, we don't know just yet. Couldn't get any footage of it. Well, I got a little bit of footage of it. You might have seen it before this segment of the vlog, but it looks pretty good. We were pretty happy with it. Looks really nice. The only thing is, of course, the concern right now is my driving, and it went particularly well. Everything was fine. I was driving normally and safely and everything, until we reached a particular roundabout, and my dad, who was directing me, giving me the directions because my sat-nav fell off, he told me to signal left, and of course, in my head, that meant turn left. So as soon as we're on a roundabout, going around the roundabout, and you're supposed to stay on the inside lane until you reach your exit, which is over here, or, wherever. And I was going around the roundabout, and he said, about here, he said signal left, because my exit was over here. For some reason, as soon as he said signal left, there was an exit here, and I went like this, crossing over 2 lanes or 1 lane of traffic here. So, very dangerous. There could have been a car coming round on that lane and smashed into the side of me. Luckily, I checked my mirrors before I move, and there wasn't any cars there, so I was fine. But doing that, it's not illegal, it's just reckless driving. So yeah, I won't be doing that again. Put it that way. I won't be doing that again. Live and learn. But I will definitely be speaking, to my instructor to practice roundabouts a little more so I don't make that mistake again. So it's been a few days since the last entry. I kind of have to say that. It's obligatory at this point. But I have to now confirm, for those who are interested, that I do have my driving test booked. Because in the UK right now, driving tests are very hard to book. But I have mine booked now for October the 16th, I think. So about 3 days after my birthday. So yeah, hopefully I'll pass. I am about, 40% there, past test ready. So I should definitely be ready by October. So yeah, just stare at my robot boy while I speak about that. So yeah, I have a goal. So, today I have my 5th lesson on top of 13 hours of driving since I got my car. But the most important thing to have is this before you go for a driving lesson. Because it calms your nerves. Or even your test. Apparently. Don't know if it's a myth though. And there we have it. My driving lesson went particularly well. He was impressed with the fact that I had about 7 to 10 hours in my own car. So I was particularly better than I was in the last lesson when he saw me because he's had a week off. And he was quite impressed at the fact that I have my own vehicle, I guess. Oh, well, I say impressed. He was just kind of impressed that I've had 10 hours in it. Near enough. So, yeah, it's raining right now and I do have to drive all the way into the other city. But, and in fact, there's a thunderstorm. Oh dear, Naomi just left for work as well. Nah, things will be fine. She's probably complete. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, Is it those dirty pillows? Dirty pillows. I sound like Austin Powers. No, my driving is getting better and better and better. He knows I have a driving lesson booked for the 16th of October. He said he might have to bring it up. Hopefully we will, because the sooner I get that license, the better. Come here. No matter how much I try and clean, it's just never clean enough. So many marks. But still, in good condition. So, today I started my first day at work. I wish I could have driven this to work, but no. I had to take a bus, and it was humiliating. Soon. Okay, so the first week of my temporary job is done. I think it's 1 of 8 or 7, I think. It's not a very long job, but it's very well paid. It's not the first time I've been on the job. Sorry, it's a British thing. It's not the first time I've been at this job. I've been going there and back from it once a summer for about 5 years now. So I really know the place. I really know the staff. Well, I am the staff. I know my fellow staff because a lot of them return, which is good. And I don't know if any of them watch my vlogs. I doubt it. It's very, 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 very unlikely that they watch my vlogs. I've got painkillers in my pocket, which I'll explain in a moment. The job is, I can't really talk about it because it's very, very, very confidential. I can't even show you the front of my badge or anything, just because it's so hush-hush. Not hush-hush as in it's a secret organisation, but it's all about sort of learning and exams and school. So I can't really talk about it because, like I said, the DPA and everything. But it is quite a hard job, but not so hard that it's like, oh my god, I want to quit. It's very demanding, even though it's kind of a desk job, but also kind of not. Because you are at a desk, but you're not confined to that desk. And you're next to a great big mechanical conveyor belt, which is streaming along all of these exam papers and things that you have to sort of sort and things like that. And also categorize and so on and so on and so on. It can be quite entertaining. Like I said, that's all pretty much I can say about it. Because if I was to say any more, I'd probably get into a lot of trouble. But yeah, the reason I have the painkillers, the ibuprofen or whatever you call it, is because the chairs there are incredibly uncomfortable. So uncomfortable, I'm getting pinching sensations all down my spine. It's such a horrible chair thing, a desk chair to sit at. I don't know why I had a brain fart there for a second. And it's not like I'm not used to sitting at a chair and doing exercise and moving around and things, because you have to really move around on the desk and to get up out of the chair and go in other places. It's not because I'm not used to it, because of course I work at a desk at home anyway. A much more expensive, complicated desk than at work. But right now we're at the first week, the first milestone, and next week I'm starting a shift from 6 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, but I have to get up at 4 a.m. to catch a bus because I can't drive my car yet. It's right there, you can't really see it, but it's right there in the driveway, but I can't use it because I can't legally drive it by myself, even though I could. It is what it is. But anyway, I won't ramble on for too long, because I have already. Moving on. So, today I tried Popeyes for the first time. Because there's just a select few of them in the UK, and one is near me. So I decided to go there, drive there, and try it out with Naomi. And it's not as flavourful as I thought it was going to be, but it is what it is. It's definitely unique to itself. The chicken needs salt, in my opinion. It needs a little something extra. But it's frigging awesome, as they almost say in Little Nicky, which is what I know it from. But yeah, it's cool. The end of the second week has finished. It's the first week, though, of me doing the really early shifts, and to be fair, it's a killer. It really is. It's awful. But worth it, because I have money, essentially. And do you guys remember when I mentioned Prime and everything and how it's really sort of hard to find in the UK? Well, it's getting easier to find now. And also, we have found, while I wait for that to download, Flight Simulator, I have found the energy drink version of Prime, which is even harder to find in the UK. Like, really hard. Some guy in Wakefield was charging £100 a can for this. And I'm about to try it, because I need it for my driving lesson, which I have in about 15 minutes. So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so I have the can opened. Apparently it has caffeine and 0 sugar, which is really, really good because I don't have sugary drinks. The opening is there. Looks kind of clear. Okay, let's take a sip and find out what it tastes like, I guess. Wow. Okay. Okay, not what I expected. Very, very sweet. And watermelon-y. Actually does taste, well, it's not like a watermelon, it's more like a tropical sort of watermelon kind of flavour to it, like a melon flavour. It's hard to think that is sugar-free because of how sweet it is. Props to the guys, was it Logan Paul and things? You know, they have a mixed reputation, but props to them for making a pretty nice drink, actually. Yeah, let's hope it gets me through. I can't speak. I hope it gets me through my driving lesson.
Okay guys, and with that leads me to the end of the vlog. You may have seen some dashcam footage of me driving through a town. It's some part in this vlog, maybe just a couple segments before this or the segment before this, I don't know. If not, then that's going to make no sense to you. A quick summary of the vlog, because this is the end of the vlog. So keep on watching for a moment. I've got some stuff to talk about if you're interested. If not, bye, I guess. So, quick summary. My driving is getting a lot better. I hope to pass my test in October, because I have it booked in October if I didn't mention that. And my job is going pretty good. I am on my 3rd week at the moment, and out of 7. And it is becoming, well, quite difficult to get used to. But at the same time, it's getting easier as well, because the shifts, like I said, I have to get up at 4 AM every morning, but I've started to get into a rhythm with my sleep, and the job is getting easier to do as I have more energy from sleeping better. Because I get up at 4 in the morning to catch a bus at 5 to get into work for 6, so 3 hours from, you know, starting getting up to working. So it's not like I'm getting up straight away and then just up working, you know. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the job. Everyone in my workplace came down with this really strange cold. Like, it's like a cold, but it causes you to be sick. Like, not sick, but just sick. You know, you can't move, you can't concentrate. It's just an awful kind of cold, and it wasn't COVID, because we all kind of tested for that, and it wasn't COVID. It was just this really strange energy-sucking cold. Maybe the flu. I don't think it was the flu. But yeah, that's kind of what happened at my workplace. I actually had a day off because of it. I couldn't go into work because I was so sick. And I'm still recovering from it now. It was actually this Tuesday. It's Saturday now. And we didn't work Monday either, because the UK has this thing called bank holidays, where you just don't work for some reason. Well, you don't in my work anyway. Some places you do. But yeah, so that's kind of what's happening with the work. And like I said, my driving is improving, for what it's worth to you guys, because, you know, I'll be vlogging in the car eventually. Right now I can't, because I don't have a vlogging camera that I can use while I'm driving, because you cannot touch your phone in the UK. If you're in the UK and you are driving a car, you're not even allowed to touch your phone. If you touch it, even put a finger on it, just touch it, you are breaking the law. Unless your car is being used as a sat-nav, in which case, or GPS, in which case you can touch it. but only as a GPS, not as a camera or anything like that, just as a GPS. I have my own sat-nav, which I'm not going to grab, but it's a Garmin sat-nav, which I use above my wing mirror, above my rear view mirror, and it's voice activated and everything. I have my dash cam, which you may or may not have seen footage of, and blah blah blah, and it's going pretty good. It's just my forward planning of driving needs a lot of improvement at the moment. As I record this vlog, in this segment, I need to start thinking further ahead than I already do when I'm driving, which I'm trying to work on. So, you know, when you're approaching a roundabout, I need to know exactly what lane I'm going to be in before I get there. So if the sat-nav says turn left, second exit, I'm not going to be in the left, preferably because it gets me into the left lane at the end. But I'm not going to start with that whole thing, excuse me. But yeah, that is basically what has led me on to the end of the vlog. The job is okay so far. I will report on it throughout the next month, because the next month is the last month at the job. I have 4 weeks left, roughly. Sometimes they keep you on. I don't know if they're going to do it this year. I am meeting my targets and things, so we shall see. It's a very friendly place to work, and blah 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 blah. You know, it's just getting up in the morning. Maybe I'll vlog some of the walking through, you know, work and things. Maybe, I don't know. But I do have to start working on that last episode of the Munkcast now, because I couldn't do it for the past week or two. Because I was, well, for the weeks before I was working, but now I got the cold, I couldn't record anything, but now I can record things, so I might end up, while I can, recording the episode of the Munkcast for you guys, so you got something to watch, you know, on this channel. That's what you've subscribed for. Unless you subscribe for the vlogs, in which case, thank you, because I appreciate that, because the vlogs are a secondary thing on the channel that get like a couple hundred views and that's it, which is fine for me. I don't think I'd be very good at that kind of exposure anyway, and I just realised that there is a pillowcase on my desk, as I emptied my bag earlier for work, and I found there was a pillowcase in it from when we went to London, in the London vlog. Yeah, and also, I need to dye my hair, because I've noticed for a while in these vlogs and things that my hair is actually going grey. I'm only like in my very early 30s, so what am I holding this still for? Going grey at this age isn't great. Probably get it from my nan on my father's side. Unfortunately, she was killed by a HGV before I was born, which is very, very sad, and I wish I would have met her. But the reason I mentioned that is because she went grey when she was in her 20s. And I am rambling now. So if you are still watching, if you watch the whole thing, a thumbs up to you, seriously. And if you have a question for the Munkcast, I'll answer it, put it in the comment section of this video, because I'll just answer them as the chipmunks, or I'll give them to the chipmunks to answer. You know, so yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and until the next vlog, whenever that is, probably the end of this month that you're watching this in now, which is June, isn't it? I think it's June. Got some hot days coming as well in the UK. But yeah, thanks for watching, and vlog over.